Is wealth the ultimate weapon in a political battle, or does the power of the people trump all? The story of former President Donald Trump's financial journey in the lead-up to the 2024 elections provides a fascinating exploration of this question. Once upon a time, Trump's financial challenges were the talk of the town. Legal battles loomed large, draining resources and casting long shadows over his campaign. The requirement to post a substantial bond for a civil trial involving his business was a significant hurdle. Reports of financial strains swirled, even as Trump himself contested these, claiming to possess over $500 million in cash. His attorneys, however, painted a different picture. Fast forward to the present and a twist in the tale emerges. The recent multi-billion-dollar merger deal involving Trump's Truth Social platform has raised eyebrows and questions. Could this be the game changer, the financial boost that Trump needed to level the playing field with President Biden, whose campaign had consistently outpaced Trump's financially since the start of 2024? However, the devil is in the details. Regulatory provisions in the merger agreement prevent significant shareholders, including Trump, from selling their stock for at least 6 months. That puts a damper on the anticipated proceeds from the deal being available in time for Trump's bond deadline. There's a loophole, though. Trump could potentially seek a waiver to sell his shares, but that would require approval from the company's board, which predominantly comprises his allies. While this financial drama unfolds, the general election campaign gains momentum. Over the past year, Trump has had to allocate a substantial portion of his funds to address legal fees stemming from multiple criminal indictments across different jurisdictions. Contrast this with Biden's fundraising efforts, which have consistently surpassed Trump's, with notable disparities in contributions. Republican strategists attribute this difference to Trump's recent emergence from a fiercely contested primary, in contrast to Biden's smoother nomination process. Democrats, on the other hand, believe Trump's financial woes will give Biden an advantage in the race, pointing to a more robust enthusiasm for the Democratic candidate than reflected in polls. GOP strategists, however, argue that Trump's fundraising deficit may not necessarily render him vulnerable. They cite his 2016 victory despite being outraised by Hillary Clinton. They anticipate improvements in fundraising numbers through joint efforts with the Republican National Committee, akin to Biden's collaboration with the Democratic National Committee. Despite Biden's fundraising lead, Republicans remain optimistic about Trump's prospects. They emphasize the importance of winning over sufficient funds rather than necessarily outpacing the opponent. They point to instances where fundraising disparities didn't translate into electoral losses, suggesting that Trump's joint fundraising committee with the Republican National Committee should bolster his financial standing as the party's de facto nominee. In summary, Trump's financial journey has been a roller coaster ride, from facing significant challenges to potentially turning the tide with the multi-billion-dollar merger deal. However, regulatory provisions may limit its immediate impact. Meanwhile, Biden's consistent fundraising lead points to strong support for the Democratic candidate. Yet, Republicans argue that fundraising disparities don't necessarily translate into electoral losses, and they remain optimistic about Trump's prospects. The financial battle rages on, but will it decide the war? That remains to be seen.